Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic wherever you are in the world. Happy Tuesday. I was sent screenshots about Without a Crystal Ball's latest posts, and my heart truly breaks for Janelle and her entire family. Clicking on this video and watching it, I ask that you put yourself in the shoes of these parents. Yes, it is about Without a Crystal Ball's reporting again and her continuance of her exploitation. The exploitation of a family that lost a son. This is not a homicide. It's not a cold case. It's not even a missing person. This is a young man that was struggling and harmed himself. The family has not come out and spoken or given details. They're keeping as much private as they can. This family is mourning his loss. And now you will hear Without a Crystal Ball's intentions. So let's get into that. But before that, my usual disclaimer. Please do not take what I say as fact. Feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Yesterday, I did a video about Without a Crystal Ball being so generous and kind, choosing to give respect to Gypsy Rose and her family by not reporting on or giving details about her life and what caused her from separating from her husband and whatever else she is going through in life. Whereas, since Kody and Janelle have lost their son a month ago now, she is still making videos, analyzing, judging, disrespecting, and making false reports about the entire family and the situation. Since they lost their son, I would think that they deserve the respect to at least mourn in peace and be given the respect more than Gypsy Rose and her family. These posts were sent to me, to which the first one says, "I'm done with the games. Sister Wives is an abusive show that promotes a sex and labor trafficking cult. In March 2024, a child relentlessly bullied by the trafficker died by S. If you support this trafficker and their propaganda, unfollow me." For your information, Without a Crystal Ball, aka Katie Joy, is still going through a lawsuit that is still active, which has been going on for about 2 years now, I think, that she claimed and still claims is frivolous. And one of the reasons she was sued, and that is listed in the complaint, was that she accused another man and or other men of being human traffickers. And here she is again, calling Kody a trafficker. You can dislike Kody, all well and good, but let's keep in mind, he lost a son. A child he will never be able to talk to again, hug, or share special moments. He still deserves the grace to mourn his son. First of all, Without a Crystal Ball is going off what she watches on the show. The same show that she has been preaching for years that's fake. But when it comes to her needing to make money, the show seems to be 100% legit. And again, we are experiencing Without a Crystal Ball, putting it out there and calling Kody a sex and labor trafficker. This is a major thing. In 2024, 2025, and many years to come, S is always going to be a thing, and I mean no disrespect. I just researched this and it says in 2023, more than 50,000 Americans died by S, which is more than any other year on record. The S rate in 2023 was 14.3 deaths per 100,000 people, which is 1% higher than in 2021 and the highest rate since 1941. This could affect anyone, irrelevant if you're in a cult or whether you are an individual. Without a Crystal Ball needs to stop using this family's tragedy to profit from and make the excuse that this is so prevalent in this community and they do it as their only way out. She makes shit up to profit off these people's trauma. Once again, we don't know the reason why Janelle and Kody's son decided to take this route. But at the end of the day, Without a Crystal Ball is still wrong for doing what she's doing. She doesn't even know, as I said, for a fact why he did what he did. And it's no one's business, in my opinion, until maybe the family wants to talk about it. Yet she is implicating that he did it because of his father's relentless bullying towards him. That is a huge claim to make without any evidence. It's reckless and insensitive, if you ask me. She then goes to say, I'm blocking every single person telling me to stop exposing a criminal enterprise. You were lied to by a family on television. Kody is a sex and labor trafficker. I won't cover for his crimes. If that offends you, unfollow. But comments telling me to stop will only get blocked. You are supporting abuse. Now she's calling TLC a criminal enterprise. Is she forgetting that that same enterprise is paying her mortgage, putting food on her table, and providing for her family? She goes on to say that she won't cover his crimes. What crimes? And what is she doing to stop these alleged crimes? Because all I see her do is make YouTube videos that garner thousands of views for each video, and she in turn receives thousands of dollars. I have never seen her advocate for anything to be stopped. I think you are misunderstanding the comments, Kody Joy. They are simply asking you to stop exploiting the death of this young man by using it against his family, and mainly his dad. That's what I think. Then she posts, police reports aren't private and no journalist needs permission to report on a public police report. Get out of here, abuse supporter. As you can see, this comment she was referring to. Do you have Janelle's approval to air out her son's information? That's bizarre to me. Have you approached Janelle with, hey, I'm on social media, I'm a blogger, but I asked for Garrison's private police reports? Poor Janelle. The way she says no journalist needs permission to report on a public police report, and goes ahead and tells that person to get out of her comments and calls them an abuse supporter. What does Kody Joy do? Kody Joy is just as much of an abuser herself. The only thing different with Kody Joy is that she profits off their abuse, in my opinion. And let's take a look at Kody Joy's social media about her. On her Facebook, it says she's a digital creator, works as a blogger and a YouTuber. Same thing on the other Facebook. It says she's an entertainment website. Well, I'm blocked from my Instagram, so I won't be able to tell you what it says there. Kody, come on. You're not a journalist. You've never been a journalist. You don't have the credentials to prove that you're a journalist. You just play one on YouTube. Not because it's public, you need to report on it. The only reason, in my opinion, you are doing it is for the clicks and views, to be the first, to stand out. If you had a heart and you had compassion and empathy, you would not report on it out of the respect of these parents and their family that lost their son, Kody Joy. And the person that sent you that comment, they were just looking out for the family. That person has compassion, empathy, and the human decency to take Janelle's feelings into consideration, unlike you. And my question is that, is Kody Joy posing as a journalist when she's asking for these records? And how is she proving to the police department when asking for these records that she is a journalist? I'm curious about that. She then went onto her personal Facebook and she states, Without a Crystal Ball has been notified by Flagstaff PD that the records that I requested connected to Garrison Brown's death are in the mail. The request was made on the same day that we requested the police report. We will be receiving copies of Garrison's final text messages and interviews he's conducted with his roommates and family. The information and video has been redacted, and no sensitive information related to his body or condition will be revealed. As soon as the information arrives, we will report the findings. Our request was to understand the full context of interviews with witnesses and family, as police reports are only summaries and not the whole story. Transparency is important, especially when a death occurs after an adult child has been relentlessly bullied by a father on national television. I have no hope the Browns will ever provide truthful information about the incident, nor will they ever actually hold Kody accountable for his abuse. Details will be posted in the coming days. In my opinion, Kody Joy has no business asking for this police report. It's not her business. It's not the public's business, in my opinion. This is a family matter, not intended for social media. She already reported after stealing McCarthy's content, where McCarthy said that her family will not be discussing the situation. At the beginning of this post, she says, I requested, connected to Garrison Brown's death, or in the mail. Then she goes on and then she uses herself in the third person and she says we. Katie Joy, who is we? You've established that without a crystal ball is you. So who is the we? When the report comes in the mail, are you and your husband going to walk hand in hand to the mailbox to get the report? And that is where the we comes in. Come on, Katie Joy, you're not running a Fortune 500 company. You yourself said you have no employees. So you're just making yourself try to be more important than you are. You yourself, Katie Joy, you yourself, all alone in that room, is going to report on the findings. There is no we. You were dying to get your hands on these text messages, and I can only imagine how many more videos she is going to come out with. And I can guarantee you, she's not thinking about Janelle's feelings. All she will be thinking about is how many more subs you will be gaining and how many more zeros will be added to her bank account. And I also very much think she is going to sensationalize this incident to the max. In my opinion, there is no transparency needed. This young man took his own life. He was obviously going through some things that he felt he couldn't find a way out of or didn't want to burden anybody. It's not because he was a child that was relentlessly bullied by his father on national television. She is just trying to make things up to validate the fucked up things that she's preparing to do. This, in my opinion, should not be content for a YouTuber. This young man was no longer living this lifestyle. He was no longer part of the show. Who is without a crystal ball to exploit and analyze his last days? There is need for respect and privacy, which clearly she has no idea about on when, where, and how it should be used or shown. I have no hope for Katie, and at the end of the day, that is their son, and what they choose to share and not share is up to them. It's not like you're out there trying to help these people that you claim you want to help. And this is the thing that angered me the most. So I suggest you put on your tinfoil hats, because she then went and made another post. The night Garrison died by S, A&E exposed the Apostolic United Brethren for weapons trafficking and running an illegal militia to defend the group from outsiders and the government. The group was put together by Robin Brown's brother-in-law, Mike Bowles, who is married to Fawn Bowles. Men in the group were recruited into the secret militia and trained in military warfare by a former Green Beret in the military. A former member revealed the group used illegal weapons, silencers, and used AR-15s, which were untraceable. Kody Brown has sold ghost gun kits for AR-15s for years. The episode airs, Garrison dies by S. The entire story about the military, illegal weapons, and the Brown family's ties to the group was completely ignored by the media. Fawn is Robin's sister that is 1 year younger. Her husband, Mike Bowles, is a bishop in the Mount Pleasant branch of the AUB. I have no idea if this is connected in any way, but something feels off. My investigations in the AUB will continue. You mean your judgment, your exploitation of the AUB? Go figure. I'm not defending Kody in any way, but once again, it's all Kody's fault. Since he allegedly sold ghost gun kits for AR-15s for years, is she the one that's saying he is the one that supplied it to this, as she calls it, a militia? The episode aired and Garrison takes his life because, as per Katie Joy, the entire story about the military, illegal weapons, and the Brown family ties to the group, and that was totally ignored by the media. So this documentary was done by A&E, as Katie Joy stated. So they have a whole production team that had to do research and investigate the story, get their ducks in a row to do this documentary. But according to Katie Joy, they conveniently forgot to include the Brown family that she claims has ties to this group. So which would you believe? Would you believe the documentary that didn't even discuss them, or would you believe without a crystal ball that claims that they do have ties? Mind-blowing. Kody, maybe you are the one with the false information, and maybe they weren't tied to this group, because if they weren't included, and you are putting out this narrative that because, according to you, this group was put together by Robin's brother-in-law, who, as you said, is married to Robin's sister. And since Kody is married to Robin, Kody must have been in it or associated with it. Basically, what you are saying, guilt by association. So, tell me something. Did you get this information of him being associated from another neighbor of Robin and Kody's? Unbelievable. Didn't Without a Crystal say that Kody was denounced by the church and that he didn't belong to any church? After putting all this information in people's heads about how he sold ghost gun kits and that his brother-in-law put this group together and how the Brown family was tied to the group, which, as she said, the media ignored. And now, at the end of the post, she wants to say she has no idea if this is connected in regard to Garrison. And this is my strong opinion. I absolutely do not believe it was. And for her to have even alluded to this or put this in people's heads is sick. The only thing off here is Katie Joy for continuing to be disrespectful to this family at their most painful time, period. What is her end game besides exploiting this for her own financial gain? Because Katie has made it clear in the past that she is not an advocate, because she doesn't have the time to help people get help. And like I said in the beginning, people, move away from me once again reporting on Without a Crystal Ball, but focus on what I'm reporting about. For the past month, this woman has made endless videos, constantly been going after this family, blaming the parents for the loss of their son, and continues to push that Kody is responsible for the death of his son, to who made social media posts and in the time frame they did, and who did not, to receiving false information from neighbors and still reporting on it without vetting it, to judging their every move and how they should be acting, all the emotions they should be showing, to clickbaiting her videos, to making fun of Kody and his hair at his son's memorial, to how Robin had no right sitting where she sat at the memorial, to telling or trying to advise Christine that she should take her child to therapy and get off social media before she loses that child. Put yourself in these parents' shoes. I have personally not lost a child. I can only imagine the pain these parents must be feeling and the hurt they are going through. I get they are public figures, but this is about the loss of this young man's life, who was no longer on the show, who went forth and started a new life, pursued his dreams, lived his life, and now his parents and family are trying to pick up the pieces and figure out what went wrong and try to deal with this privately and as a family. Yet now you have this YouTuber who is exploiting their lives and is doing everything in her power to profit as much as she can of their family's tragedy. If you as a parent was facing this, how would you feel? And once again, his police report, in my opinion, should have not been given to Without a Crystal Ball. For her to analyze and further exploit his death on YouTube and further try to blame his father for his death or implicate others for his demise. I truly think she is going to go after the people that Garrison sent his last text messages to. Once again, in my opinion, I do not know what Garrison was going through, but it seems he was going through a lot and he felt there was no other resolution. Nothing is good enough without a crystal ball. She rallied for years for these women to get away from Kody. And when they did, that still wasn't good enough for her. I cannot see how she wants the cancellation of the show because that is her bread and butter. I have no idea what her end game is besides exploiting this for her own financial gain. She has made it clear in the past that she is not an advocate because she doesn't have time to give people or get people resources. And she clearly does not have a conscience because she knows full well how Garrison reached out to her and asked her to stop. So isn't she also to blame for all the cyberbullying she does towards this family, in my opinion, and other families similar to this one? How does she sleep at night? Does she have any remorse? I have no doubt that Janelle and Kody have guilt for their son's demise. As I was editing this video, I was sent this comment from Without a Crystal Ball, to which she says, the militia has been hidden by the producers and they intentionally do not reveal that Kody sells weapons. Now, if this woman gets another lawsuit, that is totally on her. She has not learned anything. So you guys, with all that said, please continue to keep this family in your prayers. They have a long road of healing ahead of them, and they do deserve respect, and they do deserve to be mourning in private. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Please be safe out there, be kind to one another, and don't forget, make good memories. Bye guys.